Here we are, guys, welcome to maxdmcrafting. Here is another episode that wants to be an example of my creative journey. Before I started, the only thing I knew about this project was that it should have had a dwarven face as an entrance. How to do it was completely a mystery. What I usually do is go to Google and look for images that can inspire me. I do not copy those images, rather through them I create my mental image of what I want to achieve. Piece by piece and proceeding by trial and error, I get a result that must be as close as possible to what I have in mind. In this piece I have tried, as usual, to use as many recycled pieces as possible. You will see how I use this expansion insulating foam. These are pieces of waste from a job I did on the walls of the house. If you want to see how I create a rocky landscape with this foam, check out the Eagle's Nest Castle series, episode number 7. At the end of the first day, I found myself with something like this. I would say super badass. The dwarven pillars are a fundamental detail of this civilization. Since Alan Lee's illustrations for Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings showed the depth of Dwarven with its very high pillars supporting the dwarven walls, they have become a real own brand of underground civilization. They therefore deserve extra work, not only from an architectural point of view, but also decorative. To be honest, there is always a great deal of haste when I do my work, so the decorations are not exactly as precise and geometric as they should have been. I want to be satisfied. These symbols are more than enough to give a certain flavor to the piece. As you can see, these pillars have a reduced size in the upper part. This gives a sense of stability downwards, giving the impression of pieces planted firmly in the ground. In this particular scenario, I will use 2 pillars integrated into the diorama. But don't worry, later we will create the depths of a dwarven dungeon. I will certainly dedicate a tutorial to creating these imposing pillars. Once the two pillars were created, I adapted the entrance piece to be able to attach them. Measure, mark, cut, repeat. Measure, mark, cut, repeat. In the end, the ideal position meant that the entrance was higher than expected. Not bad. This allowed the insertion of a small staircase, with the effect of further embellishing the architecture of the piece. That's what I found in my hands at the end of the second work session. Guys, at the beginning I thought of providing you a template for what I'm doing now. The truth is that the series of measurements and cuts is so complex that it's practically impossible to simplify everything with a template. Dozens of small pieces would be needed. The concept that I want you to pass here is always the same. Look for your idea, then look for attempts, failures and success to achieve it. This process is certainly longer and can be frustrating at times, but in the long run it is what will allow you to grow, increasing your technical and artistic potential. At the end of this clumsy attempt, I built this dwarven face. Do not pay attention to the colors. The ability to see the final result is part of my creative process. In the end, this piece will do its duty. My idea is to create a modular piece. It will have to give the impression of being a finished piece, without the need for other pieces to complete it. At the same time, it will have to be able to fit into different environments for the creation of larger scenarios. I therefore created solid walls with a 90-degree angle and large bricks for a result of great strength. The main source of inspiration for my dwarven civilization are the Dwemer ruins of Skyrim. That's why at this point we introduce steampunk pieces. Pipes, vents and more pipes give the impression of a more advanced technology of the time in which find these ruins. If you've been hanging out on my channel lately, you will know that these pieces come from Mantic's Industrial Terrain Crate. There is an Amazon affiliate link in the description box below. See how I use the other pieces of foam to give the base to the rocks. In this way I find myself with a piece that can be put on the table and, which I really like, tells a story. After adding the final details on a macroscopic level, we are about halfway through the creation process. This is the part that I prefer, absolutely. All the priming coating is finished. Now all the textures are ready, so we can just finish our piece, and this will be a great journey. Crack on! Okay guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it with your friends, okay? I hope you found this video entertaining. Thank you for watching, and till next time, they call it a mine. A mine!